G'day guys, Dylan from the Beta Network here, and today we are going to take a look at a rather comical tactical RPG. So gather your demons and zombies as we answer the question, should you play Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny? Disgaea 6 kicks off by introducing you to its two main characters, Zed, the ambitious and bloodthirsty zombie, and Cerberus, the self-proclaimed genius who happens to be a zombie dog. After the brief orientation, the game very quickly transitions to what the essence of Disgaea 6 is, a tactical RPG. It then shifts over to Zed trying to gatecrash the Dark Assembly, which is a gathering of some very powerful demons, self-proclaimed or otherwise, only for our main protagonist to be thwarted by the indestructible level 999 guards, who, as it so happens, don't actually put up much of a fight. Zed finally waltzes into the Dark Assembly, only for a rather pompous overlord by the name of Ivar to start berating him. Zed then opens up about how he, a lowly zombie, finally defeated the most fearsome enemy they are all wanting to destroy, the God of Destruction. Now, of course, no one believes him, and so he proceeds to tell his story under the threat of death. But let's be honest, what's death to a zombie? This is just one of the many little jokes made throughout the story. At this point, the game's already made me chuckle on more than one occasion, either from Zed's demeanour or bloodlust, or from Cerberus's almost tired remarks, to Charles saying, "dude," in literally every sentence, and Mysador thinking that everything is solved with money. Not to mention the so-called hero, who is mad at Zed because he can no longer mooch money off of the king. There are jokes in almost every scene, and yes, not all of them land. Sometimes you'll sit there and just shake your head. But you can't help but love that this game knows exactly what it is, and is so unapologetic about fully immersing you in comical goodness. The gameplay for Disgaea 6 is relatively simple. Most tactical RPGs are. However, there are a couple aspects that stand out above the others. When it comes to the battles, you can do everything you'd expect. Move around the map, attack, and use special moves that are specific to your class. Although, there is one aspect that I love making use of, and that is to full-on throw your teammates. Either up to a ledge, or over gaps, or to land right next to an enemy just so you can attack them. This adds a unique element of strategy to the game, allowing you to think more outside the box. The only downside to the gameplay is that the layout of certain maps makes it difficult to select a specific square. It's rather frustrating when you're hovering over a square that you want, but then not being able to select it purely because the game thinks you're on top of a pole. In saying this though, I do love the amount of XP you gain after each battle, leveling up exceptionally fast all the way to level 999 and above. Just adds to the ridiculousness of the game, not to mention how much damage and health you can get. Again, it's the devs knowing exactly where to inject those little hits of comedy for that over-the-top feeling the series is known for. If you've been enjoying this video, why not hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Now, visually speaking, Disgaea 6 looks fine, and before you blow your lid, that's not a bad thing. Is Disgaea 6 breaking down the barrier of world design? No. However, the devs still did a fantastic job. The game itself doesn't look anything fancy, but it stays centered around the anime-like characters with some nice videos to show off the special moves. The maps are nice and compact, and again, stay true to the game. The part that really interested me was the fourth dimensional Netherworld. It gave me immediate Hades vibes. This Netherworld acts as your hub between battles, and there is a lot to check out. You can visit the Dark Assembly, using mana to improve the items you can buy or create new companions. You can buy items at the general store, learn about abilities, and upgrade skills at the skill shop. You can even take on quests, level up players at the juice bar, and receive gifts from the Netherworld Hospital. Even after all of that, there is still heaps more to discover, especially with the cheat shop. since you're playing a zombie who fights demons and is not a particularly good guy, they decided to add a cheat shop. Because why not? This is absolutely hilarious, as it allows you to add non-consequential things like squeaky shoe noises, allocate how much XP you get, or even change certain aspects of the game. This is unashamedly Disgaea, highlighting that the game doesn't take itself too seriously, and I love it. The music really suits this title as well, and the soundtrack doesn't try to dominate the game either. Instead, it sits in the background, quietly adding to your experience of Disgaea 6. In saying this though, the tune that keeps playing in the 4th dimensional Netherworld can get a bit grating after a while, but that could just be because of my taste in music. So, should you play Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny? I would say yes, but only if you're into this style of game. If you like tactical RPGs that just love to pull the mickey out of themselves and exaggerate game mechanics to the nth degree, then you will love Disgaea 6. From the comically large levels, to the cheeky remarks, to the cheat shop. They all add to the hilarity of the whole affair, meaning you're in for at least a good chuckle. Now, I understand that this title isn't for everyone, what with the tactics playstyle and on-the-nose comedy approach. However, at the end of the day, it's just some good old fun. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with our review? What is your opinion on Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny? Are you a fan of the comedy? And if you haven't already, head over to our website, thebetanetwork.net, for more gaming news and reviews.